Have you ever told a lie on Halloween night? Not a big one, just something harmless, like pretending to be someone you're not. Every year, millions of us wear masks, hide behind costumes, and joke that monsters walk among us. But what if someone out there took that tradition seriously? What if just once you met a person who demanded the truth and punished the ones who faked it? Tonight's story isn't about jump scares or movie monsters. It's about a game one that started as a prank and ended as a nightmare. The survivor swears every word you're about to hear is true. So, turn down the lights, put your phone on silent, and remember, when someone asks who you are tonight, be very, very careful how you answer. I never believed in curses, rituals, or any of that Halloween folklore crap. Not until last year. Not until I learned what happens when you lie to the wrong kind of host. It started as a stupid game. Jackie had just come home from her first semester at college. Pete and I were still seniors, bored and restless. We'd all agreed we were too old for trick-or-treating until Jackie came up with a social experiment. Her words, not mine. We'd go trick-or-treating anyway. 3 grown teenagers driving around town in full costumes, knocking on doors for candy. But there was a twist. Before we got out of the car, at each house, we'd place bets. If you guessed that the house would give us candy, and you were right, you got 1 point. If you guessed no candy and were wrong, you lost 1 point. But if you guessed no candy and were right, you got 5 points. At the end of the night, the person with the most points got all the candy and got to choose 3 things the losers had to eat, no matter how disgusting. It was childish. It was perfect. Pete called himself a Dracula, not a vampire. A Dracula just to annoy me. Jackie went full werewolf. Fake fur glued to her face fangs, even contacts. I was supposed to be Girl Gandalf. But after my brother burned the beard I'd made, I settled for a half-ass witch costume, black dress, floppy hat, silver pendant. We told ourselves it wasn't about the candy. It was about the joke, about the thrill of doing something a little stupid. One last time before adulthood made us boring. That was the plan. By 9:30, Pete was leading with 14 points. I had 12, and Jackie was trailing behind. Her strategy was betting no candy at every house. She said the 5-point wins would make up for all the losses. I told her it was dumb. I was wrong. The city lights thinned out behind us, and soon we were driving through long stretches of farmland and dark woods. Jackie wanted better odds. Fewer trick-or-treaters meant fewer houses giving out candy, she said. Her logic was twisted, but it made sense in her head. That's when the GPS started acting up. The map flickered, the little arrow freezing every few seconds before jumping ahead down the same winding road. Guess we're off the grid? Pete said, laughing. Jackie just grinned. Even better, the game gets real. At first it was funny, then the radio cut out. It didn't go quiet, it shifted. For a few seconds, it played a child's laughter, faint and distant, like a recording from another room. Then static. Okay, that's creepy, I muttered, reaching to turn it off. Jackie slapped my hand away. Don't. That's good footage. She'd been filming everything since the start of the night for a vlog she planned to post later. Halloween experiment. How adults react to old trick-or-treaters, she called it. We passed a crooked wooden sign that wasn't on the map. It read, County Road 13, and below it, scratched into the wood, don't forget your treats. Pete laughed, but there was no humor in it. I vote no candy on this one, he said. The road narrowed, lined with old oaks. The branches hung low enough to scrape against the roof as we passed. The moon disappeared behind the clouds, and for a minute, all I could see was the pale line of asphalt in the headlights, then orange light, faint flickering, a fire maybe. Jackie slowed down, eyes wide. That's got to be decorations, right? Or a bonfire, I said. But as we turned the last bend, the trees opened up, and there it was. A massive old mansion, grey brick walls, tall white pillars, and 4 jack-o'-lanterns glowing like sentinels on the porch. Another fire burned somewhere behind the house, casting a restless orange shimmer across the upper windows. I felt a twist in my gut. Jackie grinned, fangs flashing. Decorations and lights. That counts. Pete smirked. Always bet on the Dracula. We parked at the end of the gravel drive. The house loomed in front of us, its columns like teeth in the dark. I wanted to turn around. Every instinct screamed that we shouldn't be there. Let's just skip this one, I said. Jackie rolled her eyes. What's scared of a few pumpkins? I'm serious. Look at that place. Nobody's lived here in years. But Pete was already out of the car, adjusting his plastic fangs in the rearview mirror. You two coming or what? Jackie grabbed her briefcase, the same stupid prop she'd brought, instead of a candy bag, and followed. I hesitated, then sighed and joined them. The porch creaked under our feet. The air smelled faintly of smoke, and something else, sweet, like burnt sugar. Pete pressed the doorbell. Somewhere deep inside, a bell chimed once. Then the door opened. A woman stood there, middle-aged, beautiful in a washed-out way, like an old photograph that had faded too long in the sun. Her dress was sky blue, frayed at the hem. Her hair was long brown, perfectly brushed, except for one side, where it covered her ear completely. Trick or treat? Jackie said, forcing a cheerful tone. The woman's lips curled into a small smile. Well, she said softly, I do love visitors on All Hallows Eve. Come in, come in. Her voice was calm, too calm. Pete stepped forward, grinning. Thank you, Mom. Love the costume, by the way. Dead housewife, right? She tilted her head. Something like that. Then her smile faded. Before you enter, you must tell me what you are tonight. Jackie laughed. Like our costumes. The woman nodded. Yes? Tell me who you are. Pete played along, immediately bowing with exaggerated flair. I'm a Dracula, he said. Her eyes flicked to him, and she nodded slowly. Very well. You may enter. Jackie raised an eyebrow at me, but followed his lead. I'm a werewolf, Mom, she said, holding up her fake claws. Again the same nod. Very well. You may enter. Then the woman's gaze turned to me. Her eyes were pale gray, almost colorless, and for a moment I forgot how to breathe. I hesitated. I'm just a girl dressed as a witch. It was supposed to be a Gandalf costume, but it didn't work out. The woman stared for a heartbeat too long, then smiled again. Very well. You may enter. The door shut softly behind us. The house was warm. Too warm. The air smelled like cinnamon smoke, and something else I couldn't place metallic sharp. We followed the woman down a long hallway into a kitchen that looked like it belonged in a magazine from the 1800s. A long table stretched across the room, covered in fruit cakes, cookies, candied apples, pastries, things I couldn't name. Holy crap, Pete whispered. You really went all out. The woman smiled. My boys have unique diets. I always make too much. Jackie nudged me. See, perfectly normal. Chill. I didn't reply. None of the food was wrapped. Everything looked too perfect, too fresh. Feel free to take what you like, the woman said. But mind your manners. I insist on courtesy on this night. Pete reached for a plate of fritters near the end of the table. The woman's hand shot out, grabbing his wrist, gently but firmly. Not that one, she said. Garlic. It wouldn't agree with you. Pete blinked, then laughed nervously. Right, yeah, vampire joke. Got it. He grabbed a small glass cup instead, something dark, layered with whipped cream. This looks amazing. The woman's smile widened. Blood mousse, with caramelized fat for texture. Jackie snorted. Wow, you're really in character. Pete shrugged and took a bite. He chewed once, twice, then gagged. He spat the mouthful onto the floor, coughing eyes wide. What the hell is that? The woman didn't flinch. Exactly what I said. The color drained from Pete's face. His plastic fang fell from his mouth, clattering onto a plate of cookies shaped like bats. The woman's expression changed, still smiling, but her eyes had gone completely black. Show me your mouth, she whispered. Pete stumbled back, choking, wiping his lips. You're insane. The woman turned to Jackie. And you, the werewolf, are you truly what you claim? Jackie froze. It's just a costume, lady. We were just... The woman's hand shot out again, this time not gentle. She grabbed Jackie by the arm and hurled her across the kitchen like she weighed nothing. I screamed, Stop. What are you doing? The woman didn't look at me. And you, she said softly. You told the truth. You may stay. The air in the room changed. It thickened heavy and cold. Shadows flickered at the edges of the candlelight. Shapes began to form, tall, wrong, crawling. A twisted skeleton. A figure with too many limbs. Something that moved like smoke but had eyes. My sons, she said, her voice now a chorus of whispers. They hunger. Pete and Jackie screamed as the shadows reached for them. I tried to move, but my body wouldn't respond. The woman laid a hand on my shoulder, gentle again. Do not interfere, she said. They lied on a holy night. We do not tolerate falsehood in this house. The shadows wrapped around my friends, lifting them like puppets, dragging them toward the door that led outside. Through the window, I saw the fire roaring higher, brighter. No, please, I cried. They didn't mean it. They didn't know. But the woman only smiled, her teeth sharp and gray. The world forgets its old rules, but we remember. The last thing I saw before I blacked out was the fire swallowing them both. When I woke up, the world was quiet. The house was gone. All that remained was a clearing, a pile of smoldering wood, and the smell of burnt sugar in the air. For a long time, I didn't move. My hands were shaking too hard. The morning sun cut through the trees, pale and weak. I stumbled to my feet, my shoes crunching through ash and broken glass. Something glinted in the dirt. A small jack-o'-lantern painted black. It wasn't carved from pumpkin. It was clay, heavy, warm to the touch. Inside was candy corn chocolate staffy, and a folded note on orange paper. It read, Don't forget your treats. Happy Halloween. I dropped it and ran until my legs gave out. The police found me a few hours later, wandering the woods off County Road 13. They said there was no house there. No fire, no ashes, nothing but trees and an old road that hadn't been used in years. They never found Pete or Jackie. I told them everything. They didn't believe me, of course. They said I was in shock, that I'd probably fallen asleep at the wheel somewhere, that my friends must have run off. But a week later, a small package arrived at my doorstep. No return address. Inside was a single fake fang and a Polaroid picture. It showed 3 people standing on a porch, the same house, the same jack-o'-lanterns. Pete, Jackie, and me. Only, my eyes were gray. There was writing on the back, in the same looping script as the note. Tell me who you are tonight. If you ever find yourself on a dark road this Halloween and you see a fire glowing behind a house that shouldn't be there, don't stop. Don't look back. And whatever you do, don't knock. Because some houses still honor the old rules. Some hosts are still waiting for guests who lie. And if you ever hear a voice whisper, "Tell me who you are tonight," run. Run and never answer.